And we are back with the Bakersfield Underground, The Bug. And I'm over here with Michael and Sherri from Kern County Outreach. Welcome, you guys, to the Bakersfield Underground. Yeah, we turned it on just like that, huh? We were all quiet in the beginning, and now it's like, man, we're on now. As soon as Junior gives us the count, that's it. You know, so we have an important subject that we want to go ahead and learn, right? Learn from fentanyl, right? This is the shit that's going on right now. Not just here in Kern County, but just everywhere, right? And the reason why I wanted to bring you guys here is because we wanted to learn about this. We want to know what's going on in the streets, what's causing this, how are people getting it, what does it look like? Let's start with the simple questions, the basic questions, because none of us here are familiar with it. We just know the same thing, that people are dying out here, and but we're just not too knowledgeable in this subject and stuff. That's why I wanted to bring the experts here. And so we got Michael and Sherri here. Can you let us know where we can find you at on social media? How can people get in contact with you?
So I'm on Facebook under Kern County Outreach.
Let's get close.
I'm on Facebook under Kern County Outreach. We also have Instagram that we just started, TikTok. So it's all Kern County Outreach. Our phone number is 661-283-5648. And you should have the logo on there with the phone number.
All right, there you go. And you answer any questions. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, that'll be the best way to reach you, right?
Yes.
All right. And what is it, Michael? What is it that you do there for Kern County Outreach?
So I started Kern County Outreach once I came out of jail.
All
right. I was previously incarcerated. My daughter was in a house where they were dealing fentanyl. So
okay.
she ended up getting taken into custody. So when I got out, I received a picture on my email talking about, look at baby's new daddy.
Oh, man.
You know, took me a long time to get that case resolved, a year and a half. So I had to do something to prove to the courts that I was capable of taking care of her.
Yeah, of course.
So that's where Kern County Outreach came out. We just started by passing out, I think, just a case of Narcan. Then it went to 2 cases, and last year we were able to distribute between 4 people 4,800 kits.
Wow.
In the community.
All right.
Then this year we're a little slower. Good thing is the death rate is dropping.
All right,
So
that's some good news, yeah.
So in the nation, we're 26 lower in deaths right now.
So, okay, the situation with your daughter and everything, right? Because I know that off air we had a conversation, and you kind of gave us an idea. Well, you gave me an idea of what something happened to your daughter too, right? Later on and stuff.
Yeah. So this year on May 4th, I took my daughter to church, and she was having a visit with a family member, and she ended up. What I seen with was she was tired. Get her home, end up finding out it was an actual OD in progress.
Man.
Rushed her to the hospital. By the time I got her there, her oxygen level was already at 70. If I did not know signs, symptoms, she wouldn't be here today. So.
What were the signs that you saw in your daughter, to be a little bit more specific and stuff?
So the signs were glossy eyes, unresponsive. Every time I called her name, she wouldn't even pay attention. But also, she had her hand up. She was trying to grab it with her other hand and kept on missing by far. So that right there, then I looked a little closer, and she had pinpoint eyes. So the unresponsive, the glossy eyes, pinpoint, all indicated to an OD.
Oh, wow.
Any typical person would have probably just said, hey, you know what? Maybe they're tired. Let me just put her to sleep.
Yeah, because that's the first thing, right? You see your daughter tired and stuff, that's the first thing you're going to do, yeah?
Yeah.
Man, that's horrible.
So I ended up taking her to the hospital, and they did tests on her. Within 15 minutes, results came back. Positive for methamphetamine, positive for fentanyl.
Wow.
All this happened at church. So you never know when you're going to need Narcan. You never know where you're going to be, when this could happen. And it's just very important. You know the signs. Anything happens, don't hesitate. Take them to the ER. You know, deal with whatever comes with it later.
Yeah, of course. You said this happened when while you were in church and stuff. So how does a baby? How old is she?
She's going to be 3 in September.
Okay, so a little baby 3-year-old, right? How does a baby get a hold of that? Is it something that she grabbed or like what was it around her? Or in your opinion, what do you think it was?
So there's 2 theories. Okay, so fentanyl has to be introduced into the body. So it's not going to seep right through your pores. Like you'll see all these videos, this cop touched this and he just, so that's very rarely does that happen. It has to be introduced into your body. So whether they didn't follow protocol, they didn't take their gloves off right, they get something to eat, introduce,
Wow, is that easy then, huh? Okay.
That easy. Methamphetamines could actually seep through your pores, just by touch.
Did not know that.
And the thing is normally with the accidental overdose, it's normally one substance when it comes to kids, never 2 hard ones. Now it only takes, you have the picture of the coin?
Oh, yeah, I have it right here, which I'm going to also put it on the screen and stuff, but I'll show you guys here so you can see.
Yeah, it's quite a little bit.
Wow.
That's 2 milligrams right there. That's a lethal dose for an adult.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's like specks.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple of grains of salt, And that's the hard thing to realize is during the investigation, I wasn't sure if mom actually introduced it to her or if it was actually accidental. She could have had something in her purse. Baby ended up playing with it, put it in her mouth. Kids are going to put things in their mouth. So that's where we're not sure. I have my own thoughts.
Yeah, of course.
Law enforcement has their own thoughts. We're pretty much similar, but...
Yeah, I've heard of like meth through touching, like sweat, breastfeeding, stuff like that. But fentanyl, like you said, it's just with something.
Well, fentanyl, it has to go in.
So like either it was on candy or it was on whatever.
Yeah, it could have been anything at that point.
Maybe a toy or something she had in her purse and she gave it to her.
Okay, that is true, yeah. Man, that's crazy. Sherri, what's your role in this? What do you do here for Kern County Outreach?
Oh, well, I'm just here along for the ride with him. I'm not a part of Kern County Outreach.
Okay.
I'm a part of a
Can we get the microphone close to you?
I'm part of a Walk for Life thing that we're doing nationwide.
Oh, yeah. I saw the flyer
I'm
there.
the co-chair of that. So my part will be going along with him, telling about that, and then telling about my son who overdosed from fentanyl.
Oh, wow. Can you tell us the story of your son? Yeah.
Yeah, he was 34. He was a drug addict. He had been clean because he was in prison. His drug of choice was heroin. He didn't do fentanyl as a drug of choice or anything. When he got out, he started doing meth. I guess he wanted to stay away from heroin because, he was trying to stay clean.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then a friend had asked him to get heroin. I guess heroin's hard to find nowadays. So another friend had fentanyl, and they went and hung out with his friend, and he was gone probably a day and a half. And then coroner came to my door. And I just thought, what they do now, because they get in trouble together. I'm like, I'm annoyed at this point. I'm thinking it's probation or whatever, and not even paying attention to her badge, nothing. I'm just annoyed, and she's like, okay, do you have your son? Does he hang out with this guy? And I'm like, yeah. And then she told me, and so, but she thought it was heroin too. So fentanyl was just starting. It was 2021 I think that's when the majority, I think 2020 and 2021, majority of the fentanyl overdoses.
Wow.
Those were 2 big years for fentanyl. So yeah, he was an addict. He didn't normally do fentanyl. Just took the 2 days or whatever he was doing. And you know, if I didn't know his friend who told me they were doing fentanyl, he confirmed it, I would have got the death certificate and thought that he did meth with fentanyl because he had meth in him too. So, you know, that's what happens to a lot of people. They'll do meth, it has fentanyl in it, but he just did both knowingly.
Yeah, I've heard that's very common just in trying to make drugs stronger, like, you know, make it cheaper and have more of it. Like, people will add in other things, obviously, but yeah, fentanyl is a scary one. Because
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
shirt, too. Like,
Yeah.
I thought your shirt was very, I don't want to say cool. Cool seems inappropriate, but, like, I think it's cool. You know, it's like, just like we saw, like, next to a penny. It's specks, like, a dash of salt, and you would never know, and it could literally kill you.
Yeah, and especially because my thing was, how are all these people really addicted to fentanyl? How come they're still going and not wanting anything bad to happen? But I didn't know why my son did it like a couple times, and that's, I guess, because your body gets, when you do opioids, you know, your body gets used to it.
Tolerance.
Yeah, the tolerance. His tolerance was low since he had been clean out of prison. So people just don't know, and a lot of people don't know. You know, if they don't normally do fentanyl, they don't know. You know, you hear about it all the time. People doing meth or taking the pills, and they think it's not going to be in that pill, or it's not going to be in that line of Coke or whatever. So, yeah,
How old was your son?
34.
34. And you brought a picture along, right? Junior, can we get a close up of the picture right here? Yeah, this is sad, you know, and these are things that we see all over the neighborhoods now, you know, and it's unfortunate, right? And this is like you said, this drug was really hitting the streets heavy around 2021, you said? Around that time and stuff. And we're still to this day, right? We're still hearing cases.
Yeah.
You know, especially with little kids now too. You know, it's just everywhere. What okay, you were telling me a story about you took your daughter to the park, and you were finding things, and then the whole school thing also. If you could talk about all that.
All right, so I run an outreach team, 4 people. Normally, if we find a syringe on the street, my team will pick them up, dispose of them, you know, to get them off the street. I do field testing, you know. So we have these little test kits right here that we get, and I'll go through and I'll test it to see if it's positive for fentanyl. So far this year, I found 10 syringes in the schools around parks.
In the schools?
No, around parks.
Oh, around parks.
Where the kids play. You know, where you're 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
They play.
Elementary schools, yeah.
The last one I found would be right in front of Longfellow Elementary. I found a syringe one day, turned around, contacted the school. Principal Ochoa, awesome. She turned around, notified the district turned around and sent a rapid email to all this city of Bakersfield school. Reason why we're going to find more is the new Prop 36 that went through. It says that if you've been convicted of drugs or paraphernalia more than 2 times, you'll get stiffer penalties. So let's say somebody does their drugs, now they make the choice. Do I keep this on it, was resin in it, and take the chance of getting busted and getting up to 6 years? Or do I just throw it, get a new one?
Yeah.
A lot of times they're just going to throw it, you know, and that's the sad part.
Yeah.
Because I got dinged on Facebook, so I got blocked for a whole month for promotion of drug paraphernalia.
What?
When I was bringing awareness, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, parents, if you're walking in this area, be careful, because I located this in this area, had a picture of it, Facebook blocked my account for 30 days.
Oh man. Yeah, and all you were trying to do is just bring awareness and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible, man. And you said you have some kits over here, then, right?
So
Yeah, explain all of this. You brought a bunch of stuff over here, and for the people that don't know what that is, then go ahead and briefly tell us about that.
this is the original right here. This is Narcan. What everybody
Narcan,
knows.
okay.
Narcan. It's an opiate reversal medication. So pretty much you have receptors, right? So
Let's get close to the microphone.
all right, you have receptors. So what happens is your receptors will open up, and when you're under the influence, it just floods it. Now, the thing with an opiate is the opiate tells your body, let's drop everything to minimum, let's start shutting things down, and we're going to go to the minimum. So what ends up happening is it just floods, and they just keep on dropping and dropping and dropping. So they've been using Narcan for a while.
I just want to take a look at this. Yeah. All right.
So California, since we had a lot of overdoses and it was costing the state a lot of money, they came out with their brand, CalRx.
Is there any difference between this or that, or is it just
No,
the brand?
This is generic. That's the name brand.
Okay.
So every year, when they make a medication name brand, they're exempt. Nobody can make something like it for a certain amount of time. You know, for pharmaceuticals, in case lawsuits come out later, they have that money backed up and they use that for the lawsuits. CalRx came out with theirs, which is naloxone, this one. Same ingredients, just manipulated a little different. That box right there, you can look up at Walmart, $45.
Jeez,
Oh wow, really?
boy.
Really?
This box right here is probably about $22 in California. So, you know, that's why California did it.
Okay. This one right here gives you instructions on the back of the box and stuff. So this you put it through the nose and stuff.
Yeah, so all of them will give you instructions. So
All right.
let me see it. So pretty much this is what it looks like when you get it.
Okay, you got an open one there. I was about to open this one.
So this is what it looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this in their nose. You're going to tilt them back, put this in their nose, and you're going to make sure you use a whole plunger, not halfway, but you're going to go all the way, so where it touches.
All right.
Normally, when fentanyl first came out,
Can I see that?
When fentanyl first came out, it only took one. We are seeing cases now where it's taken up to 4.
Oh wow.
I had
Has the quantity of the dosage gone down? Or the
no.
quality?
There's more drugs being put in to the pills that they're coming over, and I'll explain
needs
how
more.
that happens. So, my team, we get these ones right here, and the difference between this and this is 2 of these boxes put together
Oh,
in one
okay.
box. So when my team's out there, I don't want anyone ODing on our watch.
Oh yeah, most
So
definitely, yeah.
We carry those ones.
Okay. Can I see that one? Can I see
Yeah.
that box?
How much is that one? 60?
Probably 80.
Oh man, all
Oh
right.
shoot.
But I mean, hey, it's saving lives, right? This is 8 milligrams of stuff, nasal spray. Okay.
So these are 4 milligrams. So there's 8 milligrams in here. That one is 8 milligrams, and there's 16 milligrams. So that's like 4 units.
And you can't overdose on it.
No, so there's no known side effects. I have known one person that has documentation that is allergic to Narcan.
Oh, that's true. These are things to look out for. Also,
So
yeah.
one person.
right.
There's very rarely any side effects.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So I could sit here, I could take these, nothing's going to happen. Maybe just increase my heartbeat just a little bit, but nothing really, because I'm not on an opiate. Now, if I was on an opiate, so what happens is your receptor opens up when it's getting flooded with the drugs and everything's dropping. When this goes in, it binds to that receptor and it blocks it. So now you don't have anything going through. what then happens is that's where they get the, second chance.
Ah, okay.
What is it, like 11 minutes before somebody's completely dead?
Yeah, something like that. They used 2 on my son, and it didn't work. So he was probably already, his friend had left him in there by himself or something. So,
Bad friend.
well, he was fighting with his girlfriend. So.
Terrible friend.
Still, yeah.
So the way I know about opiates is back in 2022, I was one of them people that was going to different doctors, getting pain pills. At the time, I was taking anywhere from 4 to 6 10, 3, 25 Norcos,
Wow.
a day. So I was heavily addicted on them. Never mess with fentanyl. Fentanyl is it's just a whole new thing, and it's just killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
So a little bit about fentanyl. It came out in 1950. So a lot of these drugs that you are seeing that are synthetic, they already been out since the 50s. They're just coming back.
Yeah.
The only difference is between, because you hear about hospitals all the time using fentanyl,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah.
but those are regulated by the government.
Okay.
They're highly watched, and it's safer. So what's happening is with the illicit fentanyl, it's coming from China. China is the number 1 producer of it.
Okay.
So they have people over there that are manipulating it, the structure of the pill, of the chemical, and making it mimic. Because that's where you have to remember, synthetic drugs are lab made. Regular ones, like with opium and all that, those are regulated mainly. But the ones that are made in labs, that's where you have the problems. So China makes it. The best port of entry is Mexico, right? You have to look at it like this. Why is China doing it? You could break up the American family. You could turn around, have them depend on the government, turn around, incarcerate them. It weakens our economic out here, our economy. Just makes it hard. Everybody in Kern County, I don't care who you are, knows somebody or has a family member that is addicted to something.
Yeah, of course.
They're trying to do what Reagan did in the 80s with the crack.
Yeah, this is like a whole situation here. Like, once again, we keep hearing in the news too. You know what I mean? Like, almost on a weekly basis, deaths, overdose, fentanyl is just out there and stuff. Before we get to the other picture that you sent me over here, Sherri, what advice, you were in that situation with your son? What advice would you give for somebody that, if you have any of these Narcans and stuff, stay calm and just go ahead and do what you have to do? What is the best advice that you can give? Because, a lot of people do panic. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a bad situation and stuff.
People do panic, and what people need to know, what he said, even if they're not overdosing on fentanyl, that's more than likely, it's not going to hurt them, unless, I guess, there's someone who's allergic. But it's not going to hurt them if they're not overdosing on fentanyl. So better safe than sorry. Mike did say some of the signs that you see, the glossy eyes, they get really tired. You see people like drowsing like this. Their eyes get glossy, they're dilated, they get sweaty, right?
Oh, okay.
And then so if any of your friends, even if, I know that people stop when you see a homeless person or something, and they think they're overdosing. There's been people that stop and do Narcan on them, and it saves them. I'm like, just let them know that you're gonna give them Narcan. Maybe they can hear, maybe they can't, and then just do it.
Good Samaritan at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
Samaritan at that
definitely.
point.
Good Samaritan, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So once again, go ahead.
So on that too, on another note, is what you want to do is, if you know somebody's ODing, hit them with an Narcan, give them an Narcan. Because I'm gonna tell you what, when the paramedics out here in this county go out to an unresponsive person, their first choice is Narcan. Because guess what? If we can eliminate that it's not a drug overdose, the worst that's going to happen is they're not going to be able to get pain meds in the hospital for an hour. But we can eliminate, hey, okay, it wasn't an overdose. We need to do more steps. Now they know if they get that response and that person snaps back like that, all right, we know it's opiate related. And the number one key thing is I tell people, if somebody is ODing, make sure after that first one, you're on the phone with paramedics.
Okay.
Now, here's a good thing a lot of people don't know. California came up with the Good Samaritan Act. So let's say you're in a car accident. You know, you can't get out. I pull you out. I break your arm. You can't sue me. So that's kind of the same law with 911 opiate overdose.
Oh, all right.
So if I call, and let's say it's happening at my house, and I say, hey, you know what, I got a OD. Legally, the cops are not supposed to check your house. They're not supposed to check you. They're just supposed to get the patient and go. Now, beware. If they OD in your house and they just happen to see something, they might come back with a warrant.
Oh, man, okay.
So, you know, because it's
Yeah.
in plain view. But
But that still shouldn't deter someone from calling for help.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Whenever it does happen.
a lot of people were inclined not to call because I don't want the cops looking at me. So that's why they came out with the Good Samaritan Act.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you never know. People run into situations like that. Yeah, that's what a spot to be in.
location is the number one thing. So if you're on the phone with 911, everybody thinks technology is great. I could call 911 from here. They're going to ask me what my location is, what my address is, because when it bounces off towers, it doesn't actually show that I'm here.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
gives them
An idea of where
Yeah.
in the map.
Unless
yeah.
you're on a landline phone, then they can pretty much ping you.
Yeah.
But on a cell phone, it could show up to a block away. You know, so
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
they're real. What's your location? You know, and it's very important.
Can I ask, we've talked a lot about what to do if you find a person who's overdosing, but if someone were to like find a syringe or something, or even find fentanyl, like what would be the best route for them to take?
I recommend. So me and my team will pick them up.
Phone number on the screen.
You have to be safe when you do it. You could be doing a good thing, but also you can also jeopardize yourself. So let's say if somebody doesn't pick it up right, you know, I always pick it up from the backside, you know, never anywhere near the needle. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, no glove out there is stick proof. So you might think, oh well, you know what, I got these thick gloves, you know, these work gloves, it's gonna work. Don't ever bank on them working. They'll tell you, Narcan will tell you there is no safe gloves out there. If you can, dispose of them, you know, in a sharp container. If you have access to one, I know that some pharmacies will take them. And if you don't have sharp containers, you can also order them online through the California website. I'll get that for you guys. And they'll send you sharp containers now. But if you don't feel comfortable, don't pick it up, you know, because if there's something else in that, if there's fentanyl, there's a disease in there, you might contract it. You know, and that's what you don't want, is harm yourself.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
probably say better just don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. Kind of kick it to the side somewhere by the trash, or like, I
You know
mean,
what?
do you
Don't-
want to use your shirt or
Don't
anything like
even
that?
kick
Like,
it, man. You might get some laws of
Something
physics
on your-
going on and flip
Well,
back over on your.
Like
Oh,
Final
man.
Destination?
yeah, you definitely don't want to do that.
When I was
So-
a social worker, there was a social worker that, and I think that's something about education. You know, there's sides to that coin. There's education, and then there's miseducation, right? People quoting things incorrectly, And then the other problem is people just not knowing the information. So there has to be a balance of knowledge of it, but also not necessarily like the DARE programs, because it's a lot of it's misleading, and a lot of it when you're in drug addiction. I've never been a drug addict, but I was a social worker in the past, and I dealt with kids that were on fentanyl, that were on heroin, other things, or they claimed, but never had any of them actually test positive. It was just the reports that we were getting from as runaways, the reports we were getting. But there's a lot of miseducation, and then there's a lot of people trying to do the right thing and not knowing what they're doing. And so I had a social worker come up to me and was like, "Hey, I got this off I got this off of the foster mom." And I was like, "What is it?" She said she found it in the kids' diapers, and when mom's visit. And I'm like, well, fuck, already knew not good. Like, whatever it is, it's not good, and why the fuck did you bring it to me? And so then she pulled it out. It was a meth pipe. And I was just looking at her, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "Well, we're supposed to come." I was like, "No, no." And I'm sorry to tell you, you're getting fired. You brought narcotics into the building.
Yeah.
And she's just like, but I was like, nah, like I'm gonna report this right now. Like step away, leave it on the table, and then I'm gonna have someone clean it. And first thing, and she's like, "What do I do?" I was like, "Well, call the mom. I'll call the foster mom and have her remove the diaper stuff, and then just start calling people, because we're in cover your ass mode right now." And I'm in cover my ass mode.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we just need to start telling on everybody, because
Mandated
I don't
reporter.
know.
Yeah.
Well, not even that part. Just the liability of everybody there thinking they did the right thing when everybody's just contaminating left and right. You know, like, "Oh, that's a diaper bag." Or, "Okay, well, let me get a diaper, for the kid because I got rid of the meth pipe." But it's like, no, there's all kinds of shit going on right now, And then with the fentanyl thing, I know one thing that the kids would joke about is just like, "Well, why not do it? You can't die. Just fucking have your homie shoot you up, and just see how far you can go, how high you can get." So it's just like the education and where people go when their mentality is, because I think a lot of it's I can't imagine doing heroin. I can't I can't even imagine someone convincing me to do heroin, but yet people get in an emotional state, a mental state where they start doing it, and once you're at that point, people like your situation, like, you don't do that. It's like, but in a situation where it's available and they're in a certain emotional or state, it's possible that they did, So, but we never know. We just know from the reports. We know from certain things, but everything's so limited. And when everybody got limited knowledge, you're just going off of the autopsy. You're just going off of what they said, But it's just a lot, man. And I hear everything that you're saying. It's actually touching a lot, because, I mean, you mentioned, coming out of jail, trying to get your kid back, doing these programs. And, man, I've seen, as a social worker, it's a hard decision to make, because you're not a guardian angel. You don't know shit. All you know is what's reported to you, the information that's given, and you got to base everything off of that, all just data. And so you're very much in situations where, man, I heard of it wasn't my case, but I heard of a gentleman that got out of prison, was doing those programs to, stay clean. And, the state just saw him as, nah, he's just playing the role, bro. He's just trying to get his kid back. He's trying to get this and that. He's a made man. He's affiliated, and you met him and respectful. But you did watch how people talk to him. People talk with him with respect, and he did tell people what to do, and they did what he nobody questioned it. Nobody looked back at him, and so you just do stay like that, and you're like, man, is he still calling shots? Because these people are scared of him. They're really scared of him, and so he got his kid back for a short while, and then an incident happened where his affiliation came up, and so they removed the kid from him, and then they put him in. They're saying at that point is the kid is safer with us. They put him in, his behavior, they put him in a group home. He got stabbed in the group home.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The little kid got stabbed in the group. So you're just, it's just these constant, you just don't know what to do. And then, again, you're basing everything on data. You're basing everything on the information people are giving you.
And people are not data.
They're not, and people misspeak. Mm-hmm. People get nervous.
There's a lot of nuance to people, which I think, even with, your son and bringing up the fact that he's an addict, it's that isn't really, like you were saying, people get into places like that because, personally, I have been an addict. And so it's people get into places like that where you feel like you don't even want to be aware, you know what I mean, of your reality. And so, yeah, it's really terrible.
Yeah, those are some situations. Iceberg, I haven't heard you speak that long in a long time. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's gonna stay quiet now.
No, it's just
But that's good information right there. Yeah, of course. Well, both of y'all. Yeah, for real.
It's hard. It's hard on everybody, and
Yeah.
we need programs that are I wouldn't say like rogue, but definitely programs that are not within the scope of the government, because we're so regulated. And I'll be honest, man, when you're in training as a social worker, the first thing they tell you is pretend you're going to end up on the news tomorrow. Every decision you make, pretend it's going to be in the news tomorrow. So when they go, hey, dad's been clean, dad's doing good, he's doing service for the community, all sounds good. But if I send that kid back and something happens to him, I'm on the news. So you know what? Kid's not going home. I didn't do that wasn't a part of my job. I had long-term foster care, so I never had to deal with that. But you have those conversations with people where people don't know what to do. You know, they're very confused, and so we need these programs that go out, you know, check on people, and then are educated on what they're doing, because it's easy for someone to say, how did you not? There's Good Samaritan laws. You weren't going to, what's the worst that could happen? You save somebody? You didn't get to save them? But nah, there's a lot to it, because if you don't know what you're looking at, you could be grabbing meth pipes and then contaminating yourself. Yeah. You could be pricking yourself, trying to look for their ID in their pocket. Like, because you're just in the mode of helping, and you're not thinking, like, this guy got in this situation somehow, or woman in this situation somehow, and is it on them? Am I going to go through the pocket and something happen? Am I going to try to flip him over and help him? He's throwing up. I'm trying to, like, get him to turn over, and now I'm pricking myself. Like, it's just a lot. And so we do need people who are educated to do those programs, because you'd be surprised the people that we depend on don't know shit.
Yeah, really, for real. Michael, before we get into this picture right here, this is another tragic story. Tell us once again, and we also have the walk that we're going to go ahead and definitely talk about at the end of the show. Tell us once again, where can we get a hold of these products? Where can we get a hold of you as well?
On Facebook, you can reach me at Kern County Outreach, Instagram. Your best bet is to reach me through Facebook.
Facebook is the one, all right.
Right in my profile picture, you'll see Kern County Outreach logo, and you will see the phone number right there. We do, you know, we are limited on staff, but we do respond to all calls.
There you go, yeah.
Are you guys taking volunteers?
Huh?
Do you guys
we always take volunteers.
Wonderful, yeah.
There you go, that's always good.
So my plan was to have every area in Kern County have a rep. So I trained one for Oildale. She's on her own now.
Nice.
I have one right off of Flower Street that covers that area. I have another one on Niles, one on Morning Drive.
All right.
I cover Central. I cover bars. I cover smoke shops. You know,
Right.
so, and my biggest thing is, you know, a lot of the smoke shops, they're leery at first. But when I tell them, hey, you know what? It's all about your guys being safe, you know. Let me just drop you off some of these. So you test and make sure. And a lot of them will do it, you know. The bars downtown. We need more Narcan. Is there any way you could bring us test kits? Some of them leave them in the bathrooms, you know, because alcohol and drugs go hand in hand.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So we have my buddy here, right? Jaden.
All right, Junior, can we get a camera over here? Okay, we got a picture right there, Jaden.
A little bit about Jaden. He was from Tehachapi. Prescription pills. Ended up getting one that was laced with fentanyl. Going home. Passed away in his house.
Oh, man.
Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. 93% of the ODs that happen with kids under the age of 18 happen at home. 93 are going to happen in their house.
It's a large amount, yeah.
4% is actually suicide overdose. They chose to do it, you know, and the coroner determines that, you know, if it's intentional, unintentional. I think earlier I read that the stats for unintentional are like 87, 87, I think it is, percent of the deaths are unintentional. So which tells me they don't want to die. They just want to have a good time, you know. And there's a big stigma out there. You know what? Fentanyl is the #1 killer of our kids. It's actually in the top 3, not the #1, but it's in the top 3. But we do lose a lot of kids. There's a big case out here of Ezekiel Rivera.
Yeah, this is the picture there, and you're also going to see it over there on the screen. Wow, this is like a little youngster right here. These are hard right here. Doesn't matter what age it is. Hits everybody. What can you tell me about little Zeke over here?
So baby Zeke was in the care of his father. He ended up ingesting some of his dad's supply. There's a current case right now in Kern County that's happening in Kern County. This one was actually, and the aunt is my best friend now. So what happened was I seen it, and that's what got me. I was like, man, too many kids are dying for just different reasons that shouldn't be dying. You know, and I put them on my Kern County outreach page. Family reached out, and I'm like, do you want me to take it down? Right? Because they said, you have a picture of my nephew up there. I said, would you like me to take it down? No. We want the awareness there. You know, because this little kid didn't deserve to go early.
Yeah.
So, you know, I ended up leaving it there, and I think we did like 3 car shows already. Went to 3 car shows. All my pictures that I have are always displayed at our events. You know, they were all submitted by family or friends, and we just, you know, I don't want people to remember them as being addicts. So what we do is, right here on the bottom, you'll see Forever 19.
Yeah.
So normally when we have enough people,
Can you show that to the camera right here?
so normally when we have enough people, we'll turn around and we'll go out in the community and we'll pick one of them. And since Jaden was 19, we did 19 kits in his name. We put his name on the box. That's the whole thing about doing harm reduction, is you have to be creative to get the message out. A lot of people don't like my messages when I get them out, you know, but in the end result, I get a lot of views on them because the content that I put. So we started our first Forever run. And what we do is we'll put their name on a box. We'll go out and see if it actually connects with anyone. So I was doing a girl named Heather's, and what it ended up happening is I was in the Valley Plaza area, went out, passed it out, handed one to a girl, said, here you go. She looked at it, she said, I don't think that's for me. I said, as a matter of fact, it is. I said, you see that name? I said, I want you to think about that birthday right there. She said, oh, crap. I said, what? She said, that just hit me. I'm only like a couple years away from being her age.
Oh, wow.
And I said, yep. I said, I want you to know that we're leaving that with you in her memory. I seen that girl about 3 weeks later. I don't know if she is now, but she was clean. She said, dude,
Nice.
that scared me.
Yeah.
So it's you have to be creative to get the message out. And
Yeah, definitely.
the biggest thing is I'm not funded by anyone. I don't accept a grant from the government. I'm not a nonprofit community activist, because at the end of the day, when we have an OD at one of our high schools, my team and some volunteers will go around and surround that high school and pass out Narcan. If I had if I had a nonprofit, it's a little harder because we're gonna pull. We're gonna pull, or we're gonna make it hard for you. You know, when North High had their last OD in the bathroom, we surrounded that school, passed out 120 kits to students. Prior to that, I seen Kern County sheriffs. I said, hey, you know what? This drop is going to happen. You guys get in my way, I'll just be down at IA filing harassment. Guess what? Nothing. He said, you know what? Go right ahead. This school needs it.
There you go.
You know, so in a way, it does work. Now you look, we have Narcan everywhere. We have vending machines. There's vending machines.
Oh, wow.
I know Bakersfield 8 Project has about 8 of them throughout Kern County. There's one at Mary Kay Shell. There's a couple more coming up. And it's awesome because prior to Kern County Outreach coming out, it was 8 to 5 access to Narcan. Once we came on the scene, we ended up doing 24-hour Narcan from 4 volunteers. So what that meant was you call one of our numbers 12 o'clock at night, and trust me, I did it at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
At a hotel. I need Narcan. All right, I'll meet you outside. You know, I'm over here. You know, so we were the one that initially brought the 24-hour Narcan out here to the community. And now we have a bunch of vending machines.
That's awesome right there. Yeah. Yeah, you're providing this help. You know, we learn a lot about a lot of tragic cases here. The Zeke one is the one I believe I saw in the news, and I did see what hit me hard was that I saw a little baby casket. That was hard. That was hard to see and to know that that's happening out here now, and it's happening more often, more frequent and stuff. You know, this is horrible. I'm glad that you guys are here to show us and teach us about this too, because we live our communities. This shit's everywhere, you know, and it's good to know what the signs to look for and stuff. There's also a walk, right, Sherri? And can you explain a little bit about this?
Yeah, it's a nationwide walk called Walk for Lives.
Walk for Lives, all right.
Yeah, so the United Fentanyl is what's called United Fentanyl team has joined with this other guy named Paul, and he started it, and he just started getting people to sign up, and it's going to be nationwide on September 20th. So everybody, all the groups are supposed to do it at September 20th, 9 to 11. So at the same time, we're all going to be walking, and like Bakersfield, we're going to do it at Compassion Corner, right there by KGUT. We're just going to walk around that little parking lot, probably have some signs or whatever, just to spread awareness and stop the stigma of the addiction. We'll have some information booths out there. So if everybody wants to join us, you can register. It's free. It's not a 5K, but they want to know, I guess, kind of how many people are going to be there.
Yeah.
So it's walkforlives.org, and right when you put that in, it'll pop up with the registration screen, and you just give them your name and whatever, and just join us. And we're going to have the taco guy.
I'll mention that one.
And then there'll be water, of course, and some snow cones, I guess, and then just a little short thing just to spread awareness. And
I like that. There's a
great
flyer
idea.
already out, right?
Yeah, there's a flyer.
Yeah, we're gonna post that right here on the screen as well, you know, so that way we
Yeah.
can let everybody know.
Little Zeke's aunt, she's the main person, and then me and Michael. And
Okay,
right
all right.
now they have 80 throughout all our states. They have 80 registered teams, and
Nice.
just in California we have 11 teams registered. So I think it'll be a good little turnout, and it'll be on the news probably in different areas. They're going to have coverage, so let's hope it turns out.
As far as the booths, what is the array of different organizations that can sign up to be there? I mean, you want to tackle a problem from different angles, not
Right.
just the Norcan. Also, like getting
Right.
don't get the drugs in the house. So help the parents with their addiction. You know, help them with their education. So what type of organizations are we talking about having booths?
He's in charge of that.
All right, so I will say this. I'm calling out Kern County Sheriff's Department. Bakersfield Police have been contacted, so they
Yes.
might be in the work.
All right.
When I help out with the event or I do an event, I leave it open to pretty much anything. We don't charge for the booth. space, very rarely do we have anybody selling anything because we want our events to be free.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
on this one, FYI, everybody, our good friend Mr. Dimples is going to be there.
Oh, Mr. Dimples.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I saw that.
Then my sponsor, which is Ultra Color and Shine, you can find them on Instagram. They are going to come out and provide 50 snow cones to the first 50 people.
Oh, nice.
Free. And that's
like
going to
that,
be
yeah.
all free. So we're still working on the layout on how it's going to be done, but we are going to, if you want to sign up for a booth, like I said, there's no booth fee. Get in contact with Mike on the flyer. You do donations, right?
Yeah, if there's any
And-
donations like water
And
or
Kia, she has general information on it. So me, Boost, Sherri, donations. Any other information will be Kia. We can always use water because we want to be able to provide everybody with water,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, just to make sure that, you know, everybody stays hydrated. And
Ice, maybe?
yeah.
Ice for the water?
Yeah. So I'm actually working with Bakersfield Ice to try to get a donation, and they made us a good deal, so I think we're going to end up doing it.
All right. Once again, this is the Walk for Lives, and this is going to be next month on the 20th. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's going to be at Compassionate Corner here, 2120 L Street here in Bakersfield. So go ahead. They left you all the information. Once again, social media, where can we get the Narcans at, and how can we get a hold of you? And that's your camera right there.
So you guys could go to Walmart and pay $50.
Nope.
Or you could contact Kern County Outreach.
There you go.
You could contact Aegis. Kern County Outreach partners up with Aegis Treatment and Drug Free Kern. Our whole goal is maybe one day we could get Kern County drug free. So
there you go.
my Narcan is provided by Drug Free Kern. So, you know, if you reach out to me, contact me. We do training in Narcan. We do providing with Narcan. If you're out in the community and you're in an area that we don't service and you would like to be that rep in that area, contact us and we could see what we could do to try to get you started so where you could distribute Narcan in the area. It takes everybody in the community to make it happen. You know, and the only reason why I believe we're down 26% in deaths is because everybody that came together and is flooding our streets with Narcan. Because I'm going to tell you right now, fentanyl does not discriminate. And we're already in the third wave. So we had the prescriptions, right, so we had the prescriptions in, I want to say in the 80s. Then we went through heroin in the 2007, 2013 is when they started seeing the fentanyl. We had the high, in 2013 we only had 5,000 deaths. Okay, so in 20 years we have lost kids under the age of 12. I tell you this, go online and just type in kids OD, kids death of fentanyl. And the last month, there has been like 6-7 kids throughout the U.S. So like somebody might say, well, you know what? I don't associate with anyone's on drugs. I'm going to tell you what, I don't either. But you have to think about it like this. If you have a senior in the house that's taking pills, they have dementia, they might take another one, you know, a little while later, take another one. Does it make them a drug addict? No, they just have a condition where they forget. They end up taking it, they OD. It's, you know, and my best thing is, guys, anything happens to your children, they're covered in California. get them the emergency help. Don't wait, because at the end of the day, you don't want your. At the end of the day, you could let the credit bill sit on your record for 7 years, but if your child happens to die because you didn't take them to the hospital, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in consideration.
Definitely, man. Thank you guys. Michael, Sherri, thank you for coming over here on the show and stuff. We really do appreciate this. Kern County Outreach and Walk for Lives. Go ahead and definitely check them out. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.